Keep your head to the sky. If you believe, you will surely fly. Some will say that it's raining too hard and you should turn.
It's your boy, the Billionaire P.A, and right now we're about to speak our dreams into existence on SOULInspired. I've been living a few decades now, and I think life is a struggle. I'm just one of them people that figure out how to turn struggles into positivity, and my trials and tribulations made me the person that I am. When I look back on everything that I've seen and I've been through, that's how I create these quotes, man, to inspire people to speak their dreams into existence, to create jobs. I don't create t-shirts. I create inspiration for people based off my trials and my struggles and my tribulations that I went through. My mom, we didn't have the best relationship growing up, so we just had our own differences. I had a negative book, and I took everything that negative happened to me, from being abused by my mom physically, mentally, and we at times we just hated each other. Like, the best time of my life came when my mom couldn't walk. I created 366 inspiration through fights with my mom, through watching my mom have screws in her legs from an accident, and then saying my mama got screws in her leg like Superman had in his head. Doctor said she'll never walk again. I said, baby, close your eyes. I taught her how to use her mind and glide. Then that situation happened. Then you see your daddy in a coma. See, there's a difference between dying and watching your parents just be in a coma. You gotta look at them every day and just pray. It gets to a point where my dad in a coma for 3-4 months is like, what is we praying for? Ain't nothing happening. And I'm just being honest, that's how I felt at that time. When people say pray, and you look at your 8-year-old cousin, get hit by a drunk driver and she gets killed, it's like, in my mind, I was just like, what God would do that? What God would create us to live in a house with no lights? What God would create us to, have no food to, we don't want to feed this side of the family because they ain't our children. I sold drugs because I wanted to. I was one of those people that we didn't sell it just to get cars. I accumulated a lot of material stuff, from doing it. But I wanted to take money back to my house so my grandma could have some lights, and so we didn't have to split no cheeseburgers or nothing like that, when there's 10 people in the house. And so I used my mind and understood the value and the power of my mentality, and it took me out of a totally negative situation. It took me out the environment from selling drugs. It took me out the environment from staying in jail, violating probation, staying around the wrong people. You sitting in front of a person that's extremely young, and I seen life flash before my eyes 3 times. My grandmama was the place of inspiration. And so what amazes me is how me and my mom came from the situation of where we were. I grew up my whole life with no, faith was just in and out. You couldn't tell me that a God existed because I was into instant gratification. The defining moment for myself that made me want to change from the negative things that I was doing was basically, I believe that you become the environment that you hang around. And if you want to make a change, you have to change the environment. The thing that turned my life around is when I made the transition from Alabama to California. And this was my Mecca for me, like how Malcolm X went to Mecca. California was my Mecca, and it was my opportunity to say, the white people and the black people, there's more than white and black people in the world. All white people don't hate us. Where I'm from, there's only 3 types of races. You have a dark-skinned Mexican, a white person, and a black person, and that's it. Everything. So to us, everything is white and black. Either you broke or you rich. There is no in between. And so for me to change that gap, the light bulb that clicked for me was I broke the chain of brokenness. Most people are broke because they are in a level of their mentality is broke. My pockets, it's okay for my pockets to be broke because my mind makes sense. And so my mind started making sense when I made that transition to come from Alabama to California. One of the reasons why I chose to transition from Alabama to California is because I had a relative that was living in San Jose. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. He sold me on a dream. He told me that, you have to be careful with who you mess with out here in California because a lot of people are Hollywood. And no disrespect to him, but I'm a person that's honest. And he was a person that sold me a dream. And so when I got out here, nothing was true to what he had told me. I had committed some felonies that I never knew would prevent me to to getting a job in Alabama. And you know what I'm saying, I couldn't stay. My grandmama once told me, you know, if you go to jail one time, you gonna end up going back. And I said, you know, don't jinx me. Bro, I just could not stop going. It's like every time I turned around, it was like just for dumb stuff. You know, and so my record was beginning to catch up with me when I made the transition out here, because I was applying for jobs and I couldn't get a job. And then I had to move out of that particular place that this friend had, you know, it did help me get in a place. And then I had to move out of there and move to another location, you know, because it was cheaper. And then my money kept going down because I couldn't get a job. When you step out in the real world, if you really want to be successful, it's time for you to grow up. And that's what I teach people, man. And that's what I wanted to do for myself. And what I did when I ended up in that car was, that was the best moment in my entire life, because I got to find out who I was. And when I come out and I do interviews, or I talk to people, or I do speeches, you know, Wealthy Minds ain't no front. That's really who I am. I created this image in the car. So now when I come out, I'm comfortable with it. You know, like my energy exudes this inspiration. I wrote quotes like I fell in love with success, so I guess that means I cheated on failure. Quotes like I just tested positive with MTD, motivated, transmitted disease. If you touch me, look at me, email me, or hate on me, I will infect you with motivation. Quotes like it's okay for your pockets to be broke, just make sure your mind makes sense. Tie yourself to greatness before failure chokes you. But what did I do? How did I create them quotes? Because my pockets used to be so broke. So I went through all of the negativity in my life, and I said life would be real boring, man, if you didn't have problems. What God did for me was He built faith in me that nobody can strip me of anything that I want in this world. We was put here to create. We wasn't put here to work for nobody. Just so happens some people like to work for people. I'm a creator, and but I didn't know that at first. It took me to apply to over 150 companies. It took me to catch a felony and not know the benefit of catching a felony. And people look at it and say, who says that? Because I couldn't God didn't put me here to work for nobody. He put me here because if I could have got a job, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now. I wouldn't have the mentality to want to infect 1 billion people and encourage them to speak their dreams into existence. You know, I wouldn't be able to have mentored over 100,000 kids to execute their dreams, you know, and teaching kids to, you know, take all the other words out the dictionary. The only thing that matters in life is execution. All them other words just complimentary. The only thing people care about is that you execute. When I ended up in the car, and I tell you, this was the best time of my life, man. Like that red truck that I drive by pride, that's my pride and joy. I'll make $1 billion, man. I'm still gonna push that truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand the power of your brain, man, how much you can really speak into existence. That's what I did. When I was in that car, I spoke you into existence. I spoke positive people into my existence, and I spoke negative people out of it. When I ended up in the car, this was my moment to find myself and see why I went through every struggle that I went through. And I went through every one of them struggles in my life, and I corrected it. And the reason why you go through struggles like your Martin Luther Kings and your Malcolm X's is because God is building your faith that nobody in the world can take it away from you. So now when I go out and speak, I can speak on every subject. I can speak to you about being broke. I can speak to you about you need a job? You can't get one? Create your own. You ever thought about that? Stop putting your success in other people's hands, because they'll never love your dream like you will. And so that's why my motivation is fueled in this clothing line, entertainment company, and why I do music, everything. You know, I chose to create a brand to just inspire people, and this brand was created in a truck where I just sat there and just wrote quotes. And I took the quotes and I just pinned them on the roof, and I just surrounded myself around positive energy. I saw myself walk in the mall one time while I was in the truck, and I met this dude named Franco Umo, who has a expensive store in San Jose, a suit store. He later would introduce me to a real estate investor who would end up being one of the reasons why I created Wealthy Minds. I never knew I was gonna start a clothing line or entertainment company, do music or nothing. I just wrote from my heart. I never knew it was gonna be no book. Where I'm from, we don't write books. And I'm just being honest. Nobody got no book where I'm from. You know, God has blessed me now. When people hand me books, it's like I know the authors of them. And that it didn't come because I was talented. It came because I changed my situation. I changed my environment. People want to know the key to success. I can give it to them. It's real simple. You want to be successful? Hang around successful people. broke people really hang with broke people. Rich people hang with rich people. Drug dealers hang with drug dealers. So it's like, that's what I did. I hang with this real estate investor, and he taught me the definition of having a wealthy mind. We walk in a store, and he told me, anytime you walk in a store and you gotta ask them the price, you ain't working hard enough. Because you was put here to get what you want. So if I want something, it's like I'm gonna work for it and I'm gonna go get it. And if somebody else got a minimum wage mind, don't try to put that on me. And my grandmama is the reason why everything exists. My grandmama was the person I didn't listen to, didn't want to hear about nothing. My grandmama was the person that read the Bible every time I would come in, and I say, you know, don't preach that word to me. And 10, 15 years later, I found that everything that she was preaching, it come out to be true. She was the realest person on the face of this earth to me, outside of my mom. Now my mom works with me on the clothing line. Who would have ever knew the same lady you prayed to die, you would just forget your past and say, you know what? Life of what I do is bigger than what we went through. We're gonna use our story to motivate millions, billions. Young black man grew up in the South hating his mama. Young black man is supposed to be dead at 21. It's not just me. That's what I mean when I say it's bigger than me. It's a lot of kids like that. And my job as, for God is to go back and show them kids a different route. Regardless of their race, regardless of their color, I'm gonna teach them how to speak their dreams into existence. I'm gonna teach them how to execute those dreams. I'm gonna teach them how to delete the word excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want something in this world, you go and get it and you work hard. And that's what my grandmama instilled in me in everything that I do. Everything. My grandmama told me this when I was selling drugs. She said, I don't co-sign what you do, but if you ever apply that energy to something positive, you're gonna infect the whole world. A lot of people can see, but not everybody has vision. My grandmama saw the vision when I was doing something negative. She just saw the potential. She's like, if I could just teach you one positive thing and it catch. Because it's like people like myself who have that type of drive, they either go way south or they go way north for the good. If I was doing bad things, it would be all bad. The level of how I do positivity was the same level of how I did negativity. I just converted it. The things that I'm passionate about is remembering when I used to be selfish. And my grandmama asked me one time about she asked me, if you had the opportunity to make $1 million, would you rather make $1 million or would you rather be broke and help 10 people make $1 million? And at the time I said, I'm not really concerned about 10 people. I'd rather make my own million. But my grandmama, in a time when I didn't even want to listen, was teaching me the value of relationships. Now, 15 years or however many years later, I understand that money to me don't make money. People do. When you're not relationships, like when I go do speeches and all that and go around the world and speak and people's like, oh, I love this person. I always give credit to the people that gave me the opportunity to stand on that stage and preach whatever it is my message is or however it's perceived, because without that relationship, y'all don't get to hear no Martin Luther Kings. You don't get to hear about no Malcolm X's. Somebody's putting us on those stages because we're gifted and we're talented and we can encourage people to stand up and believe in their dreams and fight for their dreams. It's time for you to execute it because we're not going to be here forever. So you got to get what you want out of life. And whatever struggles and trials and tribulations that you go through, when I go outside, if my car broke down right now, I'm gonna write a story out of it and I'm gonna figure out a way to get paid for it. So I suggest people take all their problems and turn them into, solutions. Turn them into something positive. Like, just imagine, man, if you had everything that you wanted in life, what would you talk about? I don't look for jobs, I create them. If I had never got rejected, I wouldn't have created the quote that inspires millions of people. To create, quotes like, you can never have too much faith. I was sitting in the car, man, and I would write quotes like, people say, where that quote come from? Even if I was blind, I could have told you my future was bright. Even in a time when me and my mama stayed in fights and we had no lights. From the bottom to the top, in other words, from Alabama to California, and I ain't even had no money for that flight. Abused and confused, the whole world told me I would lose. I thought love was the single most important thing I needed until I found out I had to double my faith. That's how I created You Can Never Have Too Much Faith. Just saying you believe in God to me isn't enough, so I had to put faith behind God. And when you put faith behind your dreams, then you don't gotta put your faith in people. The first shirt that I created was, damn a recession, I'm in a succession. When I made the transition from San Jose to LA. That's when I created Damn a Recession, I'm in a Succession. And within 3 months, man, the shirt sold over 5,000 shirts in 3 months. I'm still on the streets every day pushing my message. You know what I'm saying? It's because I'm passionate about it, man. I believe this. Eat, sleep. I have big visions of being in stores, but by the time we get in them big stores, I want to make sure that y'all understand this is serious. I wanted to make sure that you got this inspiration and you knew where it came from. This isn't no shirt that's just for $30 and it say it's cool and it say speak your dreams into existence. I want you to know that I was trapped inside of a negative environment that wouldn't allow me to dream, to the point that I had to set my mind free, to the point that I now dream so big. Dreams dream about me. That means if you dreaming, mama, you dreaming about me. But I'm no longer selfish. I now encourage the world to please dream bigger than me. Close your eyes. We now sitting here at the Grammys. For this here song, I'm sitting here writing you. That done turned my song into a movie. We don't want an Oscar too. You didn't even audition for the role and you don't want Best Actress too. I guess that's the movie that I produced for you. Ain't it amazing how my dreams affected you? Even when you didn't believe in me, I now got you and the whole entire world speaking dreams into existence too. I wrote that 8 years ago, bro. When I was broke. Because you can dream whatever you want, man. And I did that. I just sat there and just whatever it is that I wanted, I put Oprah in the car with me. I brought her to me. I didn't go to her. Because I understand the value of this. When you see the videos, that's why I say send a video to Oprah. People ask, why you say that all the time? Because when we had that free channel, I think the only free channel that we had, I think it was like CBS. Channel 2. And I think that's the station that Oprah was on. And this is just a true story. My grandmama asked me, if you had the opportunity to be anybody in the world, who could it be? And I said, I guess that lady that you always watching. I didn't even know who she was, bro, because I didn't watch TV. But I was like, that's the only lady that resembles me that I've ever seen that's of color, that's on TV, that's doing something positive. Because ain't nobody in the hoods of where I'm from worth growing up being like. And so when she laughed, and she's like, you talking about Oprah? Of every time and every video, when I start video, I say, send this video to Oprah. It's just it's just turned into a hobby to me of, one day that I can show people that you can speak your dreams into existence. And I can assure you, man, on your camera, on Soulspiration, Oprah will get the message of young people doing positive things. Not because of me, because it's a time and it's needed for our young people to come together regardless of your race, regardless of where you come from. You know what I'm saying? And speak our dreams into existence as a team. And you have to work extra hard to do something positive. And so that's like, I will tell people, on the outside looking in, I make this look easy and make it look good. But at nighttime, when y'all don't see nothing and to create this, the devil be trying to tear this empire straight down. But that's why God allowed you to go through so much and to make you sit in the jail cells and for you to find yourself so you can quit pretending to be something that you're not. Some people will never accumulate success, man, because they ain't ready for it. They don't even define what success is to them. I mentor a lot of people, man, and I ask them, it's like, you want to be successful? There's people that's going to watch this and they're going to say, you want to be successful? Everybody want to be successful. But then when you ask them, what is success to you? They don't even got a definition for it. Success to me is to infect over 1 billion people to speak their dreams into existence. That's my passion. I live, man, through this clothing line, through the entertainment company, through these bands. I wear this stuff, man, to keep negative people away from me. In fact, I don't even think negative people exist, but maybe that's because I don't hang with them. Man, this shirt right here, this is my wealthy shirt. If you really pay attention to this right here, say, we all wealthy. Then I got my signature right there, the Billionaire P.A. I named myself the Billionaire P.A. because I wanted to infect over 1 billion people with success, motivation, and wealth, and encourage people to speak their dreams into existence and develop wealthy minds, which is the name of the brand. And you flip it over on the back. I wanted people to wear them. Always remember, no matter what your dream is, you gotta have faith for that dream to come true. So I put that faith on my back to remind me every single day. And, we got the another one of my 366 inspirational quotes. You can never have too much faith, which I just gave you the pure inspiration of how I created this. And man, I wanted to turn the clothing line into music as another way to reach people. And then I created the song Too Much Faith with my writing partner, Tiffany Catching. and we write music too, to just, I don't know if you've seen the video, but to inspire people. And you know, right now I got over 500,000 views. And we allow people who have a talent, man, to come in and say, if you got a talent, let's use that talent. We're gonna do some positive stuff, but it's gonna be cool. You know, we're gonna make it cool to believe in God. We're gonna make it cool to have faith at an early age. And then this one right here, man, this is the I Speak Dreams into Existence. And you see the building blocks, this like reminds me of like my mama when she didn't really believe in my dream, or she didn't see the vision. You know what I'm saying? And I had to say, you know, I'm grown now, just trust me. And so this is me saying, ain't it amazing how my dreams affected you? I now got you, mama, speaking dreams into existence too. And then out that mouth coming like building blocks and what to formulate a dream. And in order for a dream to come true, you gotta have trust, loyalty. And my grandmama said you gotta have a solid foundation. If you ain't building no solid foundation, then it's best for you to sit down. And that's what my grandmama told me. If it is, it's best for you to stand for something. And if you don't stand for something, it's best for you to sit down. And so I chose to stand up for speaking dreams into existence. So God has always placed angels in my life to help me push this mission. And that's how I know it's nobody in the world can stop this, bro. I took a gun and pulled the trigger twice. I couldn't even stop it myself. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know when you're destined for something to succeed. You know, and most people, they have success. Like most people, they know what success means to them, and then you gotta figure out what success means to God, and in the middle of it, you find what your destiny is. And see, that's what I did. At first, I was selfish, not really paying attention to the higher power, you know, and I was just listening to me. And when you line your stuff up with what you are destined on earth to do, ain't nothing in this world can stop that. And most people know us for the Wealthy Mind's dream wall. This dream wall was created in the truck, the idea of it. Because while I was sleeping in the truck, I just took the quotes as I would write them on the napkins and stuff, and whatever I had, I was just pinning the quotes on the truck. And when I got in the house, I said, man, I'm gonna one day like create something of inspiration for people. And I said, what better way to do it than to allow people in the world to come into my personal home and put their dreams on my wall. You walk in my house, man, we got over hundreds of dreams, thousands of dreams in my personal house, where people come from Africa, man, Peru, you know, places that I never thought that I would even go. And so my grandmama always told me, man, if you allow your mind to go there, then your body will physically end up there. And you know, that means a lot to me. I come from Alexander City, Alabama. People can't even believe what I do for a living, to inspire people and to change people's lives and to get a little girl that got Crohn's disease, faith. The best thing about what I do now, man, is I wake up every day with every opportunity. Like I have every opportunity to fail. But what I love the most is my heart only beats for success. And so those people that are holding those guns to their head may feel like failure. And they need people like me and people like you to show them that they can be successful. You know what I'm saying? That's the easy way out. I was on Facebook the other day, and the person said, this work is so hard. And I said, that's why a lot of people fail. And whatever it is, whether it's work, whether your rent is due, whether you're going through something and you want to take your life and you want to take pills, that's the easy way out, man. Now the real people don't do stuff like that. And that's just being honest. And some people just need like that inspiration. If I could just come to that person and just inspire them, most people just need a spark, man. A candle don't light by itself, it takes a match. I give a major shout out to my whole entire team. Tiffany Catching, she also is an artist and she writes music. And without her, we came together and we wrote the song Too Much Faith. And that song is inspiring a lot of people, man. And that was just an idea. And that's why I wanted to inspire people, man, to take their ideas and turn them into a tangible, where you can touch them and you can see them. And most people can't do that. And then we got people on my team like the Les Browns that came in as like a mentor to help me. speak my dreams into existence and taught me the significance of telling your story and not just saying the quotes. So I was able to go out there and say, tie yourself to greatness before failure chokes you. But he said, tell the story behind that. He would say, tell the story behind, I don't look for jobs, I create them. So he was saying people will resonate with you when they find out that you applied to over 150 some companies and you couldn't get a job, because it's a lot of people doing that. Now you helping them. You know, it was people like that came into my life, and people like Dwayne and people like Isaiah. I mean, man, so many people that in this place of people all over the world, all cultures, man, that support this company and just want it. Like, they don't ask for nothing, man. They just want to see this world be a better place. And that's what we're going to do with Wealthy Minds. This company, man, I promise you, put this in the video. This company is going to inspire every person looking at this video. I promise you. Because it comes like my energy, it just beats for other people. If your heart skip a beat, I'll beat for you.
Just remember that it's not how you fall down, it's how you get up and be soul inspired. Just believe in yourself, yeah. Soul inspired. Break the chains and give it your best. I don't know your destination, but I know you'll get there. So be soul inspired. Be soul inspired. Soul inspired. Just believe in